Oh, it's Mr. McFeely.
I have seen the future, and he was wearing number 5, and I ain't talking about Robbie Grimsley, folks.
Took out the muffins, took out the trail mix, took out the cookies. They stole the monster cookies.
Wow, that's awesome. That is so awesome. Let's do some broadcasting.
We'll do some broadcasting with our guy Mike McFeely. Joins us each and every Tuesday at 9:35 as we are ready to roll with Week 1. Although you were ready to roll
I was doing this to you.
Appreciate that.
I'm doing the golf tip of the cap.
You were ready. I got my first college football text message, I think, at 12:30 on Saturday during Incarnate Word and Nichols.
I think what I said something like, wow, is this great football?
That is some other expletives maybe thrown in there.
I can see why Incarnate Word is ranked number 5 in the country. They look really good.
Oh, man. Yeah, that did not go well for the old Word on Saturday.
No. But
pick 6, a whole disaster there.
You know, you and I have gone back and forth about the polls and all this other stuff. It's in this era of college football, you just don't know.
Yep.
I mean, you do not know. And I'll say that about Incarnate Word. I'll say that about the Citadel. I'll say that about North Dakota State. We have an idea maybe, but the Word was awful.
They were not good, man.
Gracious.
No.
Woo,
that was
baby.
That was not a great debut.
But until the second or third week of the season, things will sort themselves out, and you can kind of see what teams have. And you know what? By December, you know who the 4 top teams are going to be?
Let me think.
Montana State, Montana, North Dakota State, and South Dakota State, and the 5th one might possibly be South Dakota.
Huh.
Yeah, and in no particular order. I'm not saying but those are going to be the top 5 teams when the playoff pairings get announced in November. So all this other stuff, oh my God, Sacramento State, they have 65 FBS transfers. Oh my, they're going to be awesome. No, South Dakota State's going to roll them by 3.5 touchdowns.
Yes, correct.
Next Saturday.
Yep.
And by the end of the year, it's going to be the same 5 teams. We're all going to be going, in Fargo, we're going to be going, God, let us get out of this subdivision. And everybody else is going to be going, oh, it's awesome.
So great.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
That home semifinal against the Word in December in front of 4,000 people when we beat them 55-14. Why would you want to leave that?
Because we're going to Nashville this time. Well, with that, all right, Eric, let's call it. We're all good. Wrap it up here. I got nothing else. Well, see, here's the horse, and here's me. Wow, just put that meme out there, that GIF out there, me beating the dead horse. It leads to something we were talking about last week with a text exchange we had, which is always great talking on television about private conversation. But we just don't, like you've mentioned, Jerry Kaminsky's going to start for UND. We don't know how that's going to. I mean, Kansas State. We don't know how K-State's going to react after the game in Ireland. I don't know about Iowa State, South Dakota. You know, when we saw the game scheduled, right?
Yeah.
And we knew what South Dakota had in December of 2024, like, okay, that's got my attention. I don't know how good this game will be now on Saturday.
It's all of this. So Iowa State's defense looks pretty good to
me.
They
look pretty good
to me.
Yeah.
We don't know about South Dakota's offense, even though we've been told that every transfer there is the greatest in the history of the world. We just don't know that. And so there's a chance that South Dakota struggles offensively. There's a chance that Iowa State is coming back from Ireland off a huge game.
Big time
I think
win.
They have Iowa then after.
Correct.
So South Dakota, good for them.
Total sandwich.
Is sandwiched in between a huge game and a huge game. And so as much as these coaches want, as much as Matt Campbell's going to say, well, this is a fine South Dakota team, we're not overlooking these guys at all. The players go, oh, it's an FCS team from South Dakota, big deal.
Correct.
You know, and so maybe it's a trap game for the Cyclones, and maybe South Dakota's way better than they were with even before they lost 5 All-Americans. Who knows? Maybe they are. I have no idea. We just don't know.
No, we don't.
And in Grand Forks, I don't know. I mean, we
really don't know there.
No.
I mean, defensively is all new. They changed their whole structure of what they're doing defensively.
Well, but you're talking about the quarterback situation. I mean, Simon Rumfo was the guy last year, and when we saw him in Fargo, I would say it was clear there was some limitations there as to what he can do.
Couldn't do. Yep.
So they went out. The first thing that Eric Schmidt did was go out and get a transfer from his previous place. Yeah. I'm making an assumption. I don't have it as fact. I'm making an assumption that they paid him some money to come here, and he didn't win the starting job.
Right.
And so the guy that got beat out last year by Rumfo is now the starter, and which is, you can improve, you can get better. I mean, it happens to everybody, but that, we'll see. And just like Maurice Drayton was saying yesterday, they'll probably play 3 quarterbacks on Saturday against maybe UND, maybe Eric Schmidt and Isaac Frichte play 3 quarterbacks in Manhattan.
I think that's probably
and just to kind of see what they have. You're trying to win the game. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, they're 25-point underdogs. And so if the game starts to sort of look like it's not going your way, then maybe you use that as an opportunity to see which quarterback can do his thing.
Speaking of NDSU season opening opponent down at the Citadel, which Maurice Drayton also said yesterday, we're going to play part of this, I think, tomorrow on the show, that we're going to play a bunch of true freshmen.
Yeah.
Not a great, I mean, that doesn't sound great. You don't know how good the guys are.
Yep.
But
he's also I watched the press conference yesterday, and this guy seems like a really
great dude,
great guy. Yep. He does. Yep. He seems to be open. Although these coaches are Kevin O'Connell loved Sam Howell till he cut him 4 minutes later. So whatever. They're all coaches. They're all going to do their thing.
Yep.
But so on one hand, Maurice Drayton is saying, we're going to play a number of true freshmen, and then on the next hand, he's saying, I'm not going to say which redshirt freshman is going to get carries because we don't want to let NDSU know what we're doing. Okay, I mean,
really, what do we do?
It's okay, whatever. But then he also says, this is impressive, by the way. He was like researching Tim Polasek and Dan Larson's background using his sources in Wisconsin. Yeah, because Tim played Division III football at Concordia in Wisconsin. And Larson played at Wisconsin's coach there.
Yeah, he coached Eau Claire.
At Eau Claire. And so Maurice Drayton was doing his research going back to their Wisconsin days. Well, it's fantastic.
He also, did you notice he brought out the stat of how NDSU's played in 80 degrees or more?
Yes,
he threw that stat out.
He researched all their games when it was 80 degrees or above, which is the most overblown storyline.
Yes.
And God bless Maurice Drayton. He said from the start, he said, if we're relying on the weather to win the game, we've already lost the game. That's more of a media thing, like Dom and Jeff, more than anybody else talking about the weather, but that's whatever.
What are you most looking forward to on the North Dakota State side of things to watch on Saturday?
The quarterback. I want to see how the quarterback plays. I mean, obviously the offensive line, you and I have beaten that to death too. And we were given permission this year by the head coach.
Yeah, we were given permission.
That's okay.
It was an okay question.
It's okay this year to
how do you
ask
say
questions.
It's a legitimate question is what he said to me.
So Polasek has given us permission to question the offensive line this year, so that's good. But I want to see how the quarterback plays.
Yes.
I mean, that's the number one. We assume, and it's always dangerous, that NDSU has found a way to have decent offensive lines for the last, 25 years. So we assume they'll continue to be okay there, even if there's some rough patches in the non-conference season, but I want to see how the quarterback plays.
First career start for Cole Payton, 58 career pass attempts in his 4 years. You watched his practice as much as I did. What did you see out of Cole Payton, the passer?
Yeah, I think what I wrote the other day, which is there was throws that he made where he just went, wow, woohoo, he's going to be just fine. And then there was other times I thought where there was some sort of mystery throws that were at the ankles and the shoe tops and things like that. We were at one practice where there were numerous interceptions thrown by both quarterbacks, him and Nathan Hayes. I asked Polasek about it after practice, and he kind of smiled, and I said, fair question. He goes, but he also said we were also encouraging them to take risks and take chances to see what they could do. I know that Tim, one thing he's talked about the entire fall camp was you're going to know where we are offensively and how much confidence we have by our 2-minute drill during games. Because last year with Cam Miller, like right away we said, we're just going to go. Just hit the accelerator, go with Cam because he knows it inside and out.
Yep.
By the end of fall camp, Polasek said, I'm not quoting it's a paraphrase. It's like we like where we're at with the 2-minute drill. So we might be able to do some things that maybe we didn't think earlier in fall camp we're going to be able to do. So then that shows confidence in the quarterback. So that's my point is my amateur eye see some things. I don't know everything I'm looking at, but the coach has expressed confidence in the 2-minute drill which he had said earlier was a big deal.
I think we talked about this, Kolpak and I did yesterday. I think defensively, and I think you're on the same boat, they could be really, really good on that side of the football this year.
Yeah, if they stay healthy, it's all FCS now. It's just one of the things that's going to be hit hardest for the best programs, NDSU, SDSU, et cetera, is the depth part. NDSU's always been able to absorb injuries to really good players.
Yeah.
I mean, last year they lost a couple of really good players to injury.
Sam Young was gone the half the season.
Yeah, and the defensive end, the young man who
Dylan Hendricks
struggled so hard to get back healthy, and then he got hurt on the last play of halftime at Southern Illinois, which is a whole different story in my book. But and so they lost two really good players, and they found a way to make it happen. Up front, if they lose a couple of guys, then we're going to see what they have. In the secondary, they have not an embarrassment of riches, but they're a lot deeper. They're a lot deeper this year than they were last year at safety and at cornerback.
Yep.
And I think the linebackers are going to be good.
That was what I was pointing to. Linebacker, they could be really good at that spot.
We keep going back to this, or at least I do every time I talk about NDSU. But again, Logan Kopp, nobody's talking about.
No.
Maurice Drayton has talked about Logan Kopp.
He did.
Maurice Drayton knows. He's a football coach. He knows what to look at. Maurice Drayton's going, this Logan Kopp kid is good. And so we just kind of forget about him. And again, no offense to Logan, but he's just quiet and does his job. And
first team all-league player.
Is a standout. And we just never really go, that's like an area to look at and say he's really good. And he's really good.
But the two guys playing next to him,
we think they're going to be good.
Are going to flash. Donovan Woolen, I think, is going to flash athletically.
We think they're going to be good. Yeah. Yes, we do think they're going to be good. It did not help that Enoch Sibomana transferred. That would have given them a senior guy that was really playing well at the end of last year. And that would have given him some depth there and some rotational opportunities. But he made his decision. Yep. And I think they're going to be fine at linebacker.
All right, let's break. We come back. We'll talk with Mike on Carson Wentz signing with the Vikings. Got a couple emails we'll get to as well. We wrap up our first hour. Back on a busy Tuesday morning. Hot Mike rolls on WDAY Extra and Forum.com right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Wrapping up our first hour. Mike McFeely joining us here in studio. Got a couple emails so I get to going back to previous topic we were talking about. If SDSU does not roll Sac State, we'll be saying, yay, there's balance in the division, or, the level of play is not what we expected. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
SDSU is going to win by 30.
You cannot deny, nobody can deny that the level of play in FCS has taken a step back.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. And that's the discussions I'll say that I have with guys like Sam Herder and others is you can't lose the best players from the subdivision every year
consistently
and then stay the same, because the guys coming down from FBS, there's a reason they're coming down. And no offense to anybody on any team. DJ Scott looks like he's going to be a fine player for North Dakota State. South Dakota State's going to have some good transfers. No personal jabs here, but you can't lose guys who are going to start in the SEC and start in the Big Ten and then say, well, okay, the fourth string guy from the Mountain West is going to be just as good. No. So it's just the level of play, which is one more reason why. Boom, boom, boom. NDSU has to get out.
Oh, man. All right, a couple of them I'll save these for later. You wrote, actually, no, I want to talk on the Drags a little bit because we're going to have Lockway join us here in about 45 minutes. You were over there last week, and you were talking on this show. You gave it was a little last thing before you ran out the door about Dane Brugler projecting on Jack Strand, the quarterback at Minnesota State University Moorhead, that there is legit NFL buzz around the Dragons quarterback, so much so that the entire NFL is going to come to Moorhead to watch this guy, right?
The entire, but there's been as of last week there were 17
more than half than his
teams, and there's 3 or 4 more scheduled, and some had already talked about coming back again for practice or a game, and obviously some scouts can double up because there's a guy on the west side of the Red River who is drawing some attention too. But yeah, so this Jack Strand is a senior from Bloomer, Wisconsin.
Bloomer, yep.
He's holds all kinds of records at MSUM for passing yards, touchdowns, completions, attempts, all this stuff. And he is getting NFL attention because he is good. He's got a real strong arm.
He's a big dude.
And he is 6'5" and 204. I asked him, as I was BSing with him after I was done with the formal interview, I said, what do you weigh now? He said, 242 yesterday. I'm like, creepers.
6'5", 242.
6'5", 242. It's not like a pudgy 242. He's a big man. And so that'll play some legitimate interest in him and how much that's going to be. It's not, I don't think he's at this point not draftable. We're not talking drafting, I don't think. I think we're talking, a undrafted free agent kind of guy, but a kid at Moorhead State is being scouted by the NFL. So hooray for the Dragons. Good for Steve Lockway. I'm sure you'll ask him about it, but I talked to Steve as well, and he just said, I got out of the way at the first meeting of fall camp. Like, just everybody just do their thing.
It's not,
they're
going to be here.
They're going to be here. And I think he kind of tried to softly massage it and say, and they ain't looking at you. They're looking at. He didn't say that, but he didn't
say it, but he said it.
I kind of got the vibe. Like he's like, they're not looking at you. They're looking at him. So everybody just do their thing and we'll all be okay.
Man. We were in this position 10 years ago this fall, when the NFL started coming around to look at North Dakota State's quarterback. And I remember then Carson was projected then as a second-round pick, right? Yeah. And then when we got the season going, it was, maybe at the end of the first round. We were in Frisco, and I remember Mel Kiper put it out, and Todd McShay were talking about it, the draft gurus at the time, that Carson could be a pick at the end of the first round.
Yep.
Wow. Holy cow, really? And obviously we know what happened. And Viking fans were hoping against hope that maybe he would be somehow a Minnesota Viking. And now here we are in 2025.
I'm not sure the Vikings fans feel the same way that they felt in 2016. I mean, there's been a lot of horses out of the barn and a lot of water under the bridge in those 9 or 10 years. But I think it just shows, number one, how bad Sam Howell was.
Yep.
That
they traded for Sam Howell
to get him thinking he was going to be the backup. And I mean, Carson Wentz, there's some baggage there. Let's put it that way. And he really hasn't played for a couple of years. He backed up Stafford in LA and
we're seeing
Mahomes
that now
in Kansas City, and he didn't really play a lot. But if you're the Vikings, you had to do something, and he was probably your best option out there because again, JJ McCarthy, we don't know.
Don't know.
They don't know. They think he's going to be good, but they don't know.
I'm sensing a theme with our show today.
And the other thing is, and I looked some of this stuff up before I came over because that's what I do, is to have things to talk about, is there's been, in 2023, NFL teams started 56 quarterbacks.
Man.
There's 30 NFL teams?
32.
32 NFL teams. They started 56 quarterbacks. Guys get injured.
All the time.
Guys get injured. Kirk Cousins was the anomaly because he never got hurt until he
got hurt.
And then we found out Josh Dobbs was apparently an aerospace engineer.
Nick Mullins played that year, right?
So either between performance or injury, number 2 quarterbacks play a lot. And it's a thing. I've been doing some reading on this. I mean, teams they just look at the backup quarterback as, okay, let's get the 40-year-old washed up veteran, and it doesn't matter. Now it matters because they go through so many quarterbacks. And so I know Vikings fans don't want to hear this, and I got a call from one the other day that did not want to hear this at all. But Carson Wentz is going to play this year for the Vikings. That's my prediction.
Because JJ gets hurt?
Whatever.
Or ineffective?
Yep, sure. Either way. Carson Wentz will start at least a game or two.
If he's starting, that's not good news for the Vikings. I said that yesterday. That is not what they want to hear.
If J.J. McCarthy is really good or mediocre and doesn't get hurt, again, he will be an anomaly.
Correct. Yeah.
In the NFL.
Yeah.
That's my point. I'm not obviously not. I haven't been to a Vikings practice in 2 years, so I don't know what's going on. But just the chances are that Wentz is going to start a game or two. It's just the way it is.
With the injury history that's going on around the league, to your point. Yeah.
Although the Vikings have a really good offensive line.
They do. They beefed up that.
So maybe McCarthy can stand back there and pick out receivers and everything will be just fine.
What receivers? They only have JJ. The other ones are hurt or suspended right now.
Just go get the guy
from
Detroit
Thielen, right?
And I'm sure the Panthers will just give him away for a bag of balls and a kicking tee.
We have to end our segment with your Minnesota Gophers prediction. Gophers play the mighty Buffalo Bulls of the MAC on Thursday night at Huntington Bank Stadium.
More importantly, the Gophers are playing Northwestern State next week. Buffalo Bulls, I don't care.
The FCS Northwestern State Demons, yes.
Matt Entz could be coaching Buffalo right now. Yeah, the Northwestern State. So the Gophers, PJ Fleck will not play NDSU. He will not play South Dakota State.
Will not play South Dakota.
We don't know that. I know for a fact that he said he will not play NDSU and will not play South Dakota State. So they won't even play. He won't even play Southern Illinois or Illinois State. He's going to play Northwestern State, which has lost 33 straight games. And
is that bad?
Is just absolutely awful. Just a terrible FCS program.
But we got Buffalo first up.
Hooray. Go. Okay. They should win that game.
They also have a quarterback they don't know anything about. Drake Lindsay is going to be their guy. Right. So,
and by the way, have you noticed now how the Gophers and the Minneapolis media are now claiming Max Brosmer
as one of their own?
Oh, seriously?
We talked about that yesterday on the show.
The guy spent 4 years at New Hampshire. Everything he did was developed in New Hampshire. New Hampshire went out and recruited the guy. They got the guy to New Hampshire. He excelled in a mediocre FCS program. Fleck goes out and buys him for one. And now they're like, oh, look at us. Max Brosmer's our guy. No, shut up. What a bunch of knobheads.
There it is. Great to see you. We will see. Yeah, I know. I got you. Your shirt says it all. Have a great week. We will see you Friday in Charleston.
All right? Yep.
Mike McFeely joining us each and every Tuesday at 9:30. We'll break. We come back. Our guy Craig Haley will join us to preview the upcoming FCS season, some of the storylines he's looking ahead to. We'll do that when we start our second hour right after this.